What's up, guys? PSGINT here, and today I will be going through the combined XI, the best African team only selected from the players current at the Afcon in Cameroon 2022. So let's get straight into this. First of all, the manager. So the most important position on the field is the manager because he's the one that controls the game, he's the one that knows the opposition, he's the one that makes the whole team click. So we have Queiroz, Egypt manager, Portuguese descent. We have Cisse, Senegalese. We have Jamal Belmadi, Algerian. So Queiroz, he's a very experienced manager compared to the other two. He has managed Real Madrid, been an assistant at Manchester United, been Iran manager, and been Colombia manager before the Egypt job. So he's very experienced and older than these two guys. And I mean, if you look at it, you would choose him with his experience and so on. Next up, Cisse has been a very good manager for Senegal. Their rise to the top is thanks to him. They have been to the World Cup in 2018. They reached the Afcon final in 2019 but lost to Algeria. So he has taken Senegal to this highest level that they have ever been in their history, with them never winning the Afcon. And then we have Jamal Belmadi, winner of Afcon 2019 with Algeria, and one of the big favorites this year as Senegal with Cisse. He has before managed the Qatar national team and said a team in the Qatari division. So three different managers with different paths in their career. But the manager that I choose for this team that I believe is the best is Jamal Belmadi, because he won the Afcon and he has really taken Algeria to the next level. If you look at all their teams, it's Algeria that looks the best. It's Algeria that plays the best. And even Belmadi played Queiroz when Queiroz was at Colombia, a superior team than Algeria. He beat him 3-0. Yes, it was in a friendly, but it still showed that there's a difference between Belmadi and Queiroz. And Cisse, yeah, he lost to Belmadi twice, both in the group stage of AFCON 2019 and in the final. So it's very hard to choose him over Belmadi. So Belmadi is the best African manager, and into my combined 11. Next up, we have goalkeepers. So three very good goalkeepers in Eduardo Mendo, Onana, and let's go on. So Egyptian goalkeeper, plays for Ahli. Very good. For me, Egypt's most important player ahead of Mohamed Salah. And we saw that yesterday against Nigeria. And he was really good at the Arab Cup. Very tall, very experienced, very old. Onana, I mean, I'm quality-wise amazing goalkeeper and so on. Played for Ajax, being that, 2018 campaign where they reached the semi-final, but hasn't played for Ajax for like a year of his doping test, and will move to Inter Milan at the end of the season. Eduardo Mendo, on the other hand, Champions League winner, UEFA Super Cup winner, plays in the Premier League, one of the best goalkeepers in the world, came second in pretty much every goalkeeper trophy, with Donnarumma coming ahead of him. So for me, the choice here is pretty easy. It's Eduardo Mendy. Because if you compare him, Onana hasn't played for 1 year for his team. And the Egyptian goalkeeper, yes, he plays in the Egyptian league, and he doesn't have the accolades that Eduardo Mendy has. Next up, right back. So we have two Moroccans, one Algerian. We have Ashraf Hakimi, we have Mazraoui, and we have Yusuf Attal. Three different right backs, or Attal and Hakimi are very similar, with them being very attacking. I mean, Mazraoui plays for Ajax and has been there, one of the remaining players from that 2019-18 semi-final Ajax squad. But he's very good, especially defensively, and can carry the ball well. Yusuf Attal, I mean, he would have been much better at this stage, but injuries have destroyed his career a bit. But he still comes back and fights even more, so it just shows the mentality he have to become an elite football player. And then we have Ashraf Hakimi. I mean, played with Inter, won the league, amazing right back, and now at Paris Saint-Germain, one of the biggest clubs in the world, and still keeping on and playing very good, even in a club filled of superstars. So for me, yeah, again, the choice here is pretty easy. Ashraf Hakimi takes the right back spot for my combined 11. Next up, centre back. So we have Tapsoba, Issa Mendy, and Koulibaly. I noticed that Africa don't have that many good centre backs, so instead of showing you 6 centre backs we can choose for the 2 centre back spots, I'm just gonna show you these 3 because these are the 3 top African centre backs. And if Matip doesn't count because he hasn't played for the Cameroon national team, I believe, since the 2014 World Cup. Reason, I don't know. So we have Tapsoba, Issa Mendy, and Koulibaly. I mean, Koulibaly goes in easily because he has been a mainstay for Napoli for so many seasons, has been so good, linked with big clubs like, I believe, United, Paris Saint-Germain, maybe City, I don't know. Issa Mendy, on the other hand, has been on Real Betis for a very long time, played very good football, and got his move to Villarreal this summer. Tapsoba, this is maybe his second good season at Bayer Leverkusen. Very good centre back, very tall, very strong. So for me, Koulibaly gets into the lineup pretty easy. And the other one is Issa Mendy. I chose him because, first of all, he's a better footballer than Tapsoba and has been at a higher stage for a longer time. And second of all, Tapsoba and Koulibaly, both very strong, very big, but we need someone that can rotate the ball, and that's Issa Mendy. He has very good ball control, playing La Liga and playing there for so long. So for me, Issa Mendy. Plus, he's a better player than Tapsoba, and he suits the squad. So next up, we have left back. We have Ramis Bin Sabahini, we have Abdu Diallo, and we have Kamara. So Kamara is a left back at Nice. This is probably his second good season at Nice coming through, and it's been very good for Nice. Nice are second in Ligue 1. Next up, we have Abdu Diallo, plays for Paris Saint-Germain, but he doesn't start most often and doesn't get off the bench and so on, with him being a defender. So yes, he plays at Paris Saint-Germain. Yes, he's first in the league, but he hasn't really contributed to anything, or rather negative. He has maybe made mistakes and so on that made us not being first, ahead of the teams that much. And then Ramis Bin Sabahini was very good at Rennes, then got his move to Borussia Mönchengladbach. Yes, I know they are very, I mean, like 14th, 13th in the Bundesliga table, but he has still been one of their greatest players and wanted by Jose Mourinho when he arrived at Roma, but they didn't get him. So Benzemaini, for me, gets the nod over them too because he starts for this team. He has been at a great level for a long time than Kamara, and right now is clearly more quality wise than both players. Plus, he's more complete. Kamara, he's more offensive and much more pace. Abdou Diallo is naturally a centre back, but Ben Sebaini is a tall left back with pace, good passing, good strength. So I take him. Rami Ben Sebaini, welcome. So this is the back line we have. We have 2 Algerians, 2 Senegalese, and 1 Moroccan. Right now, this team looks very good. Next up, defensive midfield. Idrissa Gana Gueye from Senegal, Ndidi, Nigeria, and Thomas Partey, Ghana. Idrissa Gueye, a Paris Saint-Germain player, of course, has played here for 3 seasons, or this is his 3rd season, I believe. He has played pretty much a lot, but he has been very inconsistent. Sometimes he can perform at a level. I remember one of his first games, or his first game in the Champions League against Real Madrid, where he had, I mean, a Kante-esque performance against Real Madrid, getting assists, doing everything in the midfield. So if he wasn't that inconsistent, I would have chosen him. Next up, we have Ndidi. I mean, on quality-wise, he's better than both, but he has gotten some injuries and a bit lack of form, especially with Leicester, playing very lackluster football. But quality-wise, still an amazing city, and playing for a Premier League has been linked with United and so on. And he would have gotten a bigger move if Leicester didn't ask for that much for Indeed because they know how much it's worth. And the last one is Thomas Partey. Problem with Thomas Partey is just now he has started playing a little bit better, but his first season at Arsenal wasn't that good, and Atletico Madrid he was only a rotation guy. So for me, pretty easy here. I'm gonna take Ndidi. So first Nigerian of the squad, first midfielder of the squad. Let's see who we pair him up with. In the center midfield, we have three players here. We have Franck Kessie, Ismail Ben Nasser, Naby Keita. Naby Keita isn't a starter for Liverpool, so already bad signs for him. Ben Nasser isn't a starter for AC Milan. Yeah, again, very bad for him. And Franck Kessie is a starter for Milan. Why Naby Keita isn't a starter for Liverpool or plays every game is because there are players ahead of him that are better. And remember, this guy cost 80 million, but he has gone through injuries and so on, so it's very hard to critique him. Ismail Ben Nasser was very good last season, but this season has been surpassed by Tonali and has had very inconsistent performance. Sometimes he came on, I remember he scored a very beautiful long shot to win AC Milan the game, but then he can make mistakes which make AC Milan lose the game. Whilst Franck Kessie has been a mainstay at AC Milan ever since his form started becoming better in the last 3 seasons. So, first center midfield, it's Franck Kessie. And we couldn't leave any of these guys out for the other spot. Yes, they are CDMs, but especially Partey can play a bit more offensive. So, not Idrissa Gana Gueye. Bissouma is still a very good shout, playing very good football at Brighton and always linked with great clubs such as Arsenal. And he's tall, very athletic, can do everything pretty much in the midfield, can dribble, progressive passes and so on. But for me, the second spot goes to Thomas Partey. So this midfield looks crazy right now. Ndidi, Kessie and Partey. Strong midfield. Next up, right wing position, Riyad Mahrez, Mohamed Salah, Nicolas Pepe. Do I really need to say anything here? Because it's pretty easy. I'm gonna quickly talk. I mean, Nicolas Pepe, no chance. He doesn't even start for Arsenal, only plays the cup games. You can't compare that to Mahrez and Salah. Mahrez is a starter but doesn't play like every game for City, but he still counts as a starter and has been very good for City and Leicester City. So, one of the best players in the Premier League for the past 5-6 seasons. Then we have Mohamed Salah. I mean, top of the world, top 3 players according to everyone this season so far, and has been very good, helping Liverpool come second in the Premier League right now and finishing first in the group of death with 18 points. I believe it was the first English club to do that. So I'm gonna choose Hamoudi Salah. Hamoudi Salah at the right wing. Next up, left wing. I couldn't let Mahrez go because so good. Yes, I'm Algerian. People may see it as biased, but he won the Afcon and he was a huge key player to winning that Afcon. Next to him we have Zaha and Sadio Mane, but for me it's pretty easy because Zaha, yes, he's a good player and has some great moments in the Premier League, but for Ivory Coast in Africa he has not done anything. He has been very lackluster. He has always been their best player when Yaya Touré, Drogba and so on all retired, so there's a lot of pressure on him, but he hasn't done anything. And Sadio Mane, yes, Senegal are top of the world and everything, but Sadio Mane has not still been that key player for them, as you would have thought from his performances for Liverpool sometimes. And he's a very inconsistent player. So I'm gonna choose Riyad Mahrez for the left wing spot. And the last one is the striker position. We have Sebastian Aler, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and Nesiri. Nesiri has been a little bit injured this season for Sevilla, but still has been good. Very tall guy, good with headers, and being good with Morocco. Next up, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Yeah, again, a player that starts mostly the cup games for Arsenal, but sometimes in the Premier League, and it's been okay. And the last one is Sebastian Aler. So you already know who I'm gonna choose. He has 9 goals in the Champions League this season, 10 goals, and he became the fastest player to score 10 goals in the Champions League with only 6 games. It's been very good for Ajax this season ever since he left West Ham, and just came to the national team. He chose Ivory Coast ahead of France. So pretty easy striker. It's Sebastian Aler. So I mean, this team looks so good. We have Eduardo Mendo in goal, Issa Mandi, Koulibaly, Hakimi Bin Sabahini. Hakimi a bit more attacking than Bin Sabahini, so it suits the team. The midfield, what a midfield. It's Parchin, Didi, Kessie. No one's going through that. Salah, Mahrez, and Hala. So, for me, this is the combined 11. This is the best 11 you can put from the African players that are currently in Afcon. Comment down below what you would change, what player would you add, what player would you take out. Other than that, make sure to have a nice day, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Allez Paris!